I'm Bree, and this is TJ. In 2017, we decided to break away from the norm and travel the US in our custom 4x4 van and Airstream. We loaded up our two dogs, Madly and Brody, and hit the road. We quickly realized life on the road is full of surprises, and our name-embracing Detours fit our new life perfectly. Please subscribe and welcome to the adventure.
So we have come to Stanley, Idaho, and we are boondocking here on some dispersed camping land with a gorgeous view of the Sawtooth Mountains. Really cool place, really beautiful, tiny little town, but just a really beautiful place.
Have you talked about how excited we are to be boondocking again?
It's been nice. The temperatures have come down. Like today, I think it's supposed to be in the mid-70s.
Yeah.
And it's allowing us to, camp off the grid again, which is something that we always look forward to.
We've spent, for us, a small fortune camping since we've been back on the road for the past, 6 to 8 weeks?
Yeah, it's been so hot, we've been needing full hookups mainly for the dogs, honestly. If it was just the two of us, it wouldn't be that big a deal, but
right.
We worry about the dogs if we leave them.
Right.
So it's been nice. Now we have some cooler temperatures again, and we don't have to spend so much money. So we've got a beautiful day today. It's been very smoky here. There's a lot of fires everywhere. Our hearts go out to these people that are affected by this.
Yeah, the fires that plague the West have definitely started this year, unfortunately.
But it's been causing it to be very smoky here to the point where you barely see the features of the mountain, honestly.
We were just getting a silhouette of the mountains.
So we've got a nice day today where the smoke has calmed down, and I think the rain has stomped it out a little bit. So we're gonna head out and explore, see what we can find.
Well, our first stop is not a glamorous one, but it's a necessary one. We have come to the dump station here in Stanley, not because we need to dump, but because we need to fill up our freshwater jugs. We fill up our Berkey for our drinking water out of these blue jugs rather than out of the tank, and we're out, so we need water. You ready?
Go ahead.
There is so much free dispersed camping around here that having this dump station here is really handy. There is a $5 charge, and they've got dump, potable water, and dumpsters. So while we were here, we're filling up water and we're also getting rid of our garbage. And doesn't hurt that I think probably one of the best views of the Sawtooths are from this dump station. We've met numerous people on the road that actually take pictures of their rigs at this dump station just because of the amazing view of the Sawtooths behind you. Where we're camped at, you can see maybe just a couple of the peaks, but from here I feel like you're seeing the entire range. And they're called the Sawtooths. Little fun fact while we're at the dump station, they're called the Sawtooths because they're so jagged. They're like if you turned a saw upside down, it's the blade of a saw. That's how they got their name. So is it potable or potable water?
I guess it depends on how you want to say it. Either way, we'll say it wrong and somebody will correct us.
How many people would you say it's been that we've met that have taken pictures of their rigs at this dump station?
There's a few. I know some of them have it on their business cards.
Yeah, I feel like it's a rite of passage to take a picture at this dump station.
I think it might be the most photographed dump station in the US. I don't know that for sure, but I'm just going to throw that out there and say that.
So we'll be using this dump station when we leave here.
A few days, yeah.
Yep, so we will have to take the obligatory dump station photo. Where'd we come, T?
We're at the Yankee Fork Gold Dredge.
Lower the spud. And once they lower the spud, they'd start the digger bucket, and then they would start their swing with the swing winches. So the entire drill.
Mr. Mechanical Mind.
Yes.
Do you want to try to explain what this thing is and what it did and how it worked?
So, my understanding of it is it's basically a floating platform. They drive a big, for lack of a better word, spike into the back of it. And that would allow it to swing like this on that pivot point. And then they would lower this long arm that was full of buckets, and the buckets would basically dig the ground up. It would come up through the center of the dredge, separate the gold from garbage, and spit all the garbage out the backside. That's the simplified version. That's right.
This is a self-guided tour. You pay $5 a person, but they have volunteers stationed throughout that you can ask questions to, and very knowledgeable, really nice people. And so I asked him, because I'm like, I don't, what is this? Is this like, is it motorized? Is it like on wheels, or is it a boat? What exactly is a dredge? And he said it's not really a boat, it's more like a barge, and they have to kind of dig their own 8-foot pool for it to float on.
Yeah, it has to start in a pond that they build, and then they actually assembled the dredge in place on the pond, and then the dredge actually kind of cuts in front of it like this.
Right. And
moves forward inches, cuts some more, moves forward.
And he said that that side-to-side swing that it does was 80 to 100 feet?
That's right.
Yeah.
And sometimes they would move the dredge, actually the whole dredge sideways, and make it a wider swath, but for the most part it was going forward.
And it was just picking up, what do they call it, placer gold?
Yeah.
Which is just like little tiny pieces
almost like
of gold.
dust, real small pieces, not big chunks, you know, like you would think.
It's pretty fascinating. It's something I knew zero about before walking in here. I don't even know what a dredge was, so really neat to learn all of this.
This long tube here with all the holes in it, it would, I'm guessing, rotate, or there was a rotator inside that would push the gold and other valuable metals out, and then all the garbage would keep going back out the back of the dredge.
And he said that they lined it with mercury because mercury attracts gold and silver. He said that's why mercury is known as quicksilver, because it attracts silver and gold to it.
Yep.
That is a super steep staircase. All right, so now we're in the back of the dredge, is that right?
Well, not the very back, but yes, this is where the waste would go out. Just like everything else.
This, in that analogy, is the poop chute. Behind this sort of fence are the sluice boxes that are long troughs that collect the gold on each side. Through the magic of the dredge, the gold was sifted out, and the rest of it was shot out the back into what they call tailings. And then every 10 to 14 days, dredging ceased, and the gold man and his 2 helpers came on board with 5-gallon buckets and scraped a mixture of gold and mercury into those 5-gallon buckets to collect it.
There's a book. Seen a bit.
2 big diesel engines that are actually alternators.
And use how much diesel per day?
600 gallons of diesel per day to run the dredge. Well, I'd be worrying about all kinds of stuff if this was my...
Can you imagine? Oh, Lord. Right, that was the Yankee Fork Gold Dredge.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was really cool.
So it was operational from 1940 through, I think...
52, I think?
It wasn't running during World War II, so it actually only ran for about 7 years. That time, how far did it dredge? How many miles?
5.5 miles in 7 years.
The first people that owned the dredge actually had to stop operation because they hit bedrock.
That they couldn't get by.
Yeah, close to the surface, where they couldn't, without damming it, the water source, they couldn't get the 8 feet they needed to float the dredge up and over the bedrock. So they ended up selling it to the second owner of the dredge
For next to nothing.
Yeah, it was like 40 grand, and they were like laughing at him like, you just bought this worthless thing for 40 grand, and he just built the dam even though the Forest Service told him that you weren't allowed to.
He didn't ask permission, he just did it.
Right, exactly. Instead
and then
of
paid like a $200 fine.
And it was actually at that point that they hit a real vein of gold and were actually able to really cash in those last few years that it was running. There's so much interesting history.
Some great volunteers inside that are really knowledgeable about the dredge and the history of this area. And
right.
pretty cool.
Yep.
Really cool.
That was a fun stop. Only $5 a person and dog friendly. We have met back up with some friends of ours, our friends from Joseph, and we're headed into Stanley to explore the town. Can't help but notice what our first stop is.
First stop in Stanley is the fly show.
This is your fishing buddy.
It is, yeah.
You guys have fished some pretty cool places together.
We sure have, yeah. Argentina, a bunch of Montana, a little bit of Wyoming.
What are we doing?
Gonna go try our hand on the river.
Nice.
Let's see what happens.
We came back to the trailer, grabbed the dogs and all the fishing gear and chairs and all the stuff it takes to go do this. But yeah, we're gonna go relax. Us girls are gonna go relax by the river with our books.
The guys are gonna do work.
Oh yeah, hard work. What are you doing?
I need a place to put my shoes.
That's where my feet go. Do you like go fishing, Madly? She says, guys, it's hot in here. Are you proud of yourself?
That's how you start a van, Brie.
So, the other day, yesterday I think it was, I went to start the van and it kind of faltered.
I think she's just messing with me.
No, it faltered. It totally like didn't want to start. So I gave it gas because we used to have an old Jeep and that's what you did when it didn't want to start. You gave it gas. Anyways, apparently that's not the right thing to do anymore because he yelled at me. Okay, maybe he didn't exactly yell at me, but I was informed that you do not give the van gas when it won't start. That just makes the problem worse. Now I know. Really? You're gonna trust me with the keys, huh?
It's not my first choice.
Easy, easy.
Alright, rigged and ready.
So these are the guys' tools. These are the ladies' tools.
The right bait, dots, pretzels. Catch a fish every time.
If you guys have never tried these, they're amazing. You should look for them. Fish for dinner.
We'll see what happens. Be happy not to fall in the creek. Alright, wish me luck.
Good luck. Really great if you could catch a fish on camera. Nice. TJ said he caught a keeper. And he put it down on the shoreline with some rocks. So I'm looking for it. Where's his, oh, I see it. That's sad. I want to put him back. You're gonna get swept down the river, bud. Come here, you can do it. Oh, you're nuts. How'd it go?
Just the one.
Pretty, pretty.
He's a pretty fish, yeah.
Up for a taco?
Maybe 2 tacos. No, Maddie.
Madly.
She says, I just want to smell it. Good job, T.
Yeah.
So, first cast, huh?
Very first cast. Pulled in a keeper. And I thought, man, this is going to be awesome. And then the rest were little guppies. Ready?
Do it. So what do you think of Stanley?
I thought Stanley was pretty cool.
This place is... I just got hit by a bug. Anyways, what I was trying to say was this place is breathtakingly beautiful. I keep waiting, this is gonna sound corny, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I keep waiting for Robert Redford to ride up on a horse and sweep me off my feet.
Oh, watch your hat.
But that's the kind of place it is. I mean, we're driving by these pastures right now with horses and cows grazing right next to the Salmon River with the mountains in the background. It's ridiculously gorgeous. We're headed to the infamous dump station though. We're gonna get our dump station shot with our rig in it. And then we'll be headed on. It's a good long line at the dump station.
Yes, everybody had the same idea to leave on Sunday.
Ay, ay, ay. TJ decided to use our time in line waiting at the dump station to take a shower, which is actually pretty ingenious since we're about to just dump all of that water and refill anyways. But the line just moved up, so I'm going to be moving the trailer up while he's inside taking a shower. Right. We should go check on him. How was that?
I saw you moving.
Oh, you did?
I braced myself.
You're on camera.
Jump through the door.
I'm not. Alright, you survived. A special shout out to our patrons whose support help make these videos possible. If you'd like to help support the production of our videos, please head over to patreon.com/embracingdetours. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.